Good afternoon, everybody. Relaxed Sunday afternoon. So, today we have someone rare here with us.
Not rare.
Jay and Veer's father. Rare as in, he's saying not rare. Rare as in, we have had conversations with Jay before. I am infamous for my talking, and but we have never had a father's perspective. So today we have Gurpreet with us, and I wanted. He's a little camera shy, so even before starting, he's like, "No, no, no, no. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say." So I said, "No. We just speak your heart out about the contribution of a father in parenting and in the life of a child with special needs." And Gurpreet has had a magnificent role, especially particularly in the ADL areas. Uh, there have been instances where I have had practically no idea, and there have been instances where I have been scared to take the step. But he has taken that giant leap of faith and said, "No, let him handle. He will be able to." And me with my shaking hands and praying, but I was surprised. But he was the one who gave me the courage to say that he'll be able to do it. Let us try. And of course, we were backing things up at our end. So today, I wanted him to open up and talk about his perspective on the condition. Many things, many innovative things that he has done, like the grocery list tallying, which I tell all my students, but that's not my idea, that was his idea. Then about the comprehension development, which is an academic area, and kudos to him. The comprehension development through the usage of his interest in corona and routing it through the newspapers, and of course a lot many other things in terms of ADLs. So over to Gurpreet.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I don't know what to say. I heard from one of my mentor, when you get a little bit of success, the success doesn't follow the stories. The success is very short-worded. So some of the areas where I actually looked at Jay as a person who can do it was actually stemming out of the fact that as a male, why he should not be able to do it. So it somehow you can say that it goes back to the childhood that we have lived, and being a patriarchal families, being from patriarchal families where most of the decisions are taken by the males of the family. So we were kind of born and brought up like that. Okay, so first and foremost thing that actually, like every father might be facing or might be kind of going through, is the acceptability. The acceptability to the fact कि ये condition हमारी तरह normal वाली नहीं है और इसको normal तरीके से we can't handle. So ये आज तक भी अगर if I have to tell the truth, आज तक भी there are excerpts in my life where I forget to accept this fact, and I actually do not kind of go by the rule book for the autistic kids, and I go back to the rule book of the normal kids. Normal in the sense that the kids that learn in a normal way, okay, not the kids who learn in a different way. So it started from one aspect where Rajni was trying to kind of teach him how to go via a scooter auto, take an auto and ride a bike or ride a cycle on a main highway and all that, and where she followed him to the T, and she was kind of screaming her lungs out in the car to actually ensure that he reaches the destination where he is supposed to reach, and shadowed him end to end. But then after that, I thought that if he can go once, there is one aspect that is his USP. The USP is that he remembers the He has a auto fitted GPS in his mind. So he has a auto fitted GPS. So once he remembers one route, he doesn't forget. That I realized when once me and him were traveling to my native place, and when he reached Sirsa, which is my native place, he narrated to his grandpa that raste mein these are the cities that came, okay, and he remembers all his life till now what were the cities that we traveled from to reach Sirsa. So that strength of his kind of gives the courage to us to kind of look at the other aspect where you can make him independent, that if he goes at one route, he will remember to come back from the same route. So that was one aspect. Now going back to the fact that as fathers, we also do not have the strength of being patient in teaching academics. Okay, that's not what is our grain. That generally naturally goes back to the mothers. Okay, because we've also seen that our mothers were kind of teaching us, making us sit at a place to kind of concentrate on the studies. If we were not studying, they were kind of narrating these stories to us so that we can remember and commit and vomit in our exams. So same ways the academics is not our strength. So don't even try that at your home if you are not good at it. If that is your strength, there can be exceptions, but 95% of the males that I know, we are not good at teaching academics. So do not try that if you are not good at it. So what you need to try is the practical aspects of your life. The practical aspects of the life can be taught very easily because that comes naturally to us, that is taught to us while we were kids. And we know how easily it gets into our DNA. We started from there. Later on, I got to realize from Rajni that this is called ADL skills. I never knew that it is ADL skills. I always thought that these are the practicalities of life which every person should know, like going to bank, filling up a pay slip, giving it to the cashier, understanding how many notes of which denomination are there, filling that in the right place, giving it to the cashier, taking a receipt back and ensuring that it is accounted for in your account. So that is something I took him to a bank and made him do this activity all independently. Initially I guided, and second time he did it on his own. Then I took him to kind of made him to create a list of what all groceries are required at home. So he created a list. Of course, initially the assistance is required, and then he knows what is to be picked up. In sequence, the second activity is that he needs to understand what is to be picked up at the grocery store from which rack, and how he needs to ensure that it is of the best value, because the best value is also to be taught, because ultimately it leads to understand that how much discount is applicable and how the discounts are calculated and what is the best quality that is required for home. So once you take that, then you get a bill. So it's in a sequence. So when you get a bill, what you need to do is, this is what I was also taught. I was also taught one more thing that I will tell. My father taught me that while the grocer is writing, because in those days it was manual bills. So while the grocer is writing, you need to reach the total. Before he totals it, you need to reach the total. Okay. So now that is not required, because all these machined bills are there. So you don't need to kind of put the kid through that rigmarole. But yes, whatever you bought, when you bring it back home, you need to tally everything. You need to see whether there is something which has been kind of marked overpriced or underpriced or things like that. You need to see whether you have paid the right amount or not. So these are the things that I actually contributed to kind of make him more, you can say, Hindi mein bolte hain, daksh on these areas, expert on these areas, or trying to be expert on these areas. So when we realized that he has more and more interest in home sciences, and then when we took him to enroll him into the course of hotel management for his BA, I thought that this is going to be useful for him, right? So I don't know, I have very few things to kind of say that I have contributed, but yes, from one aspect that I can very surely say, that after the initial period when I was not able to accept that he has a challenge, where this lady sitting next to me, Rajni, she was always clear that there is a different need for him to be taught in a different way, and also the fact that she was told by so-called experts that now that there is a condition, he will not be able to do beyond a certain level. Okay, he'll be able to reach and do those vocational things like making envelopes or creating candles, making diyas and all that. So he was kind of brandished and categorized in that category. Yes, those people have those kids have slightly more challenges which are termed in a different way. I will not even like to use that term. But through autism, when we first realized, thanks to her father, he was in US, he gave her a book which actually explained in detail how the autism need to be tackled. It took me about 2 years or 3 years to actually start accepting. As I said earlier, that I still sometimes feel that I am till date not 100% into that acceptance mode, because वो हमारा पुराने वाला जो कीड़ा है ना, वो that sometimes kind of comes out, and you still feel that no, why he needs to be kind of taught like this, why can't he learn like that. So वो कीड़ा तंग करेगा, so don't worry fathers, उस कीड़े को रहने दो, because that's also necessary, that keeps you on your toes. But like I said, she was the one who always carried the torch, and she held his hand, took him to the levels that he is today. The only thing that I did after that was take a back step, because I realized that this is not my cup of tea. What I can do at my level best is to not interfere, okay, and be as a support. If not you can say academically or through his teaching, but yes, through, you can say, financially she is independent, so I will not like to use that, but yes, creating that backbone in the house by putting in the effort more and more, so that if tomorrow there is a need of him to be given a specialized course, yes, these things cost a little heavy, okay, it's not going to come easy to any one of you. So let's be very much clear in our head that it requires a lot of investment, because it's our own kid, so investment should not be questioned. What needs to be seen is the result. So focus on the result. Inputs definitely are required multifold, but the results, yes, I am seeing the results in front of me in the form of my kid Jay. He is kind of now into BA Culinary Science, and when I see him interacting in the areas of his interest, he is fully confident. Yes, some of the areas still need to be worked on, which she is working on, which I am also trying to contribute to the extent that I can in my capacity, with all my errors and with all my kind of you can say whatever shortcomings that I have. But yes, ADL skills, I think I as a father can contribute, and I am contributing to the extent possible. But have the belief in your kid, that is the most critical part. That but one thing that we need to remember, sorry, I'll be taking a slightly longer time on this. One thing we need to remember, understand is, it's not that he is going to be Jackie in all trades, okay. So we need to find his niche area, his or her niche area, and work on it. Then this person can become what others cannot. So the excelling in the area that they are more concentrating on is something that you need to keep your sharp eye on and work on the strength. So if you work on the strength and increase the strength, the shortcomings you will forget. So that's with that I will sign off, and I will say all the very best. And fathers, as a father, I am telling you, stay out of it. If you don't know how to do the academics, don't unnecessarily poke your nose. What you need to do is what you can do best, and what you can do best is something that don't question unnecessarily. Okay, I'm not saying it just because she's Rajni and she is a special educator and this is her field and I'm supporting her. No, I am the biggest critic of her activities, and trust me, when she is teaching, I sit right next to her in the office and I keep poking my nose to tell her, now that I have also learnt a bit of you can say special needs, and when she's telling some solution to the parent, I say, no, this solution won't work like this, tell her to do this or tell him to do this. So sometimes my ideas are definitely appreciated. So let me tell you also this part. But yes, some of the areas that you think that you are having the expertise on, learn the special technique and then try and teach the kid. वो फिर पुराने वाले मेथड पे जाके समझाओगे ना कि वो थप्पड़ मारा, लात मारी, जूता मारा और बोला कि नहीं इसको करने दो जो करता है, वो उसको ज़बरदस्ती गलतियां करवा के उसकी आदत को पका देना, उसको एक रिजिडिटी रूटीन में लेके आ जाना कि नहीं इसको ऐसा ही करना है, तो वो नहीं चलेगा दोस्त, है ना. तो आपको क्या करना है कि आप जिस रास्ते से द मेथड बाय विच द किड लर्न्स is what you need to understand, and then if you think you are an expert, okay, ज़्यादा हम सोचते हैं ना एज मेल्स, हमारी वो मेल ईगो आ जाती है ना कि अरे मेरे को तो सब आता है. तो अगर आपको सब आता है तो आप ये करके दिखाइए कि उस बच्चे की टेक्निक को समझ के अपनी एक्सपर्टीज़ को मॉडिफाई करके उसको सिखाने की कोशिश करिए. अपने पुराने कन्वेंशनल तरीक़ों से ना समझाइए, क्योंकि जब हम सीखते थे तब हाथ से बिल बनते थे. आज की डेट में अगर कोई हाथ से बिल बनाता है तो उसको येड़ा बोलते हैं, पागल बोलते हैं कि इतनी टेक्निक्स अवेलेबल हैं, तू क्या ये पागल के माफिक आधा घंटा लगा रहा है. सो इट्स कॉल्ड अ वेस्टेज ऑफ टाइम. सो वो वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम ना करें. आप करें तो वो करें जो उसको फर्स्ट टाइम राइट हो. तब आपकी एक्सपर्टीज़ एज अ फादर, जो आप हमेशा बोलते हो कि नहीं नहीं मुझे तो सब आता है, तो वो फ़ायदा करेगी. वो फ़ायदा करेगी आपके पूरे फैमिली का, आपके बच्चे का, और वो बच्चा थोड़ा सा आपको और प्यार से आपकी इज़्ज़त करेगा, आपके साथ रहेगा और आप उसकी सक्सेस को एंजॉय करोगे. थैंक यू. गॉड ब्लेस.
Okay, for the first time I have heard him like this. But yes, the one point that I take home from all this is support is absolutely essential. Fathers are also supporting in their own way. That may not be the way that a mother might be thinking, oh, he did not help me with this, with that. But they are supporting in a way that they can support. And those who are not doing it must support in a way that they can. So if it's like teaching him how to ride the scooter, I cannot do it because he's heavier than me, he's taller. I cannot help that. But Gurpreet can. And so Gurpreet taught. Similarly, the various skills, like I keep 1,000,000 kilometers away from grocery store, but Gurpreet has taught both the boys how to tally the bills, to find out the mistake if any, if they have missed out on. So it's a lot of patience, but kids know now. And not only now, because a lot of parents might feel these are extremely high levels, our kid is not that level. But I remember many years ago when we went to a multiplex and Jay was barely 10, and there was Jay said, I want to go to the washroom, and there was a song sequence. So Gurpreet said go, and I felt very irritated that you don't want to miss one song, you want to risk the kid. But it wasn't that he didn't want to miss the song, he wanted to see, and it was a closed multiplex, so the kid cannot go out. So he was very right in his thought that if we don't give him the chance, and when we gave him the chance, that's another thing, that even when the song sequence was on, Gurpreet went quietly, discreetly behind without Jay knowing. But Jay could manage to go to the washroom and come back to the same Audi from where he had gone, and then he could come back to the seat. And I would have not known it if we wouldn't have tried. So even in earlier times, small things that a father can do, you know, something like crossing the road, so sometimes holding the hand, leaving the hand, holding the hand. Just don't say this that, oh, he won't be able to do, don't take him out. Because that is the death of progress. If you want your kid to progress, no matter what level it is, brave the next step. have the courage to take the next step. That's it. Thank you so much.
And I'll add one thing, have the courage to fail, right? So if it fails, don't mind, try it again. Yeah. Thank you.
May each kid win.
Thank you.